Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I do love you, but bye.
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something new. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
This is Bruce.
And welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast. I can't with you. We are here for the end of year review because we are getting down to it. Tomorrow is, well, New Year's Eve, and we're getting ready for 2026. But before we do, let's take a look back at all of the fun that Survivor gave us in 2025. Today, I am joined, as ever, by the lovely Abe. How are we doing, my darling?
Doing as good. It's the holidays. No complaints. Jolly, jolly, jolly.
We love that. I know it's been a lovely day. It's been a lovely kind of Christmas period. Obviously, are you excited for New Year's? Are you excited for what 2026 has to bring?
I usually prepare for the new year a few months back. I don't like to do anything on the first because I'm like, why are you waiting? But that's just me. So for this year, I kind of already planned out a few things, and then we got an exciting reality with the Survivor 50 kicking off here in February. So no complaints. I'm gonna relax tomorrow with a nice probably cigar and a nice drink, and I'm looking at the free fireworks. I said free because I'm not paying for them. And I'm gonna be at home. I'm gonna be in the house.
Nice. I mean, to be fair, same. We're probably gonna have a very chilled evening, get the new year in, get ready for another TV program that it's not Survivor to watch that. And then we're just gonna have a chilled thing, like you said, getting ready for Survivor 50, getting ready for all the shenanigans that's been going on. But we've got to talk about 2025 because it has been a fairly good year for Survivor. I mean, Gabe has said, to start off on a somber note, Gabe has said this year in Survivor wasn't that great, I think, sadly. And Daryl says 2025 Survivor gave us milk and knowledge isn't power. So, Abe, I've got to ask you the question first. Overall, how are we feeling about Survivor in 2025? How have we felt about the seasons?
Well, here's the thing. Survivor is made up of the 18 castaways each season. We always going in looking for that great cast that's going to give us that great entertainment. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we had highs and lows. And there might have been some characters we loved. There might have been some characters that we hate, but that's how Survivor is. Some of the characters we were invested in, but as far as an overall season of Survivor, I think it delivered. It delivered what the game is supposed to. It may not met some expectations, but again, those 18 castaways, we build up our expectation in them. So I don't have complaints. I think that every season since 41 has gotten better.
Yeah, you go. You finish.
Yeah, has gotten better in the sense that, we're trying to make Survivor something new, but we're also trying to bring Survivor to the next level. Because when Survivor first came out, because we're about to enter 50, there was no shows to compete against when Survivor started.
Yeah. As
far as the reality shows that what Survivor is made up of. Now you have a reality show at the drop of a turn of a TV. You can turn 2 channels and be on a reality show, but nobody's going to have that same mystique. You can't go out to another island. You can't drop 18 castaways, and you can't have the same person out there and Jeff. Sometimes Jeff is messy, Sometimes he get messy, but you're not going to have the same. Survivor has withstood the test of time, where some shows have come and gone.
And I would just like to say, this isn't just, obviously, because I know you were talking about the 18 castaways, you were talking about Survivor US, and I agree. I think it has stood the test of time. Like you said, we're going into season 50. So regardless of how these seasons may have appeared, we still have got the longevity at the moment. But they aren't the only seasons that happen. We had Australian Survivor, and this year, which was quite good, we had 2 seasons. We had Brains versus Brawn 2, and Australia versus the world. So we've got those 4 big shows to talk about, as well as a few other shows. I know we've got Quebec that was happening this year. We have Croatia and Serbia. We have Mexico. We've got a lot of other, survivors that we will talk about. I love that Zans has popped in the chat and just said, deal or no deal, Ireland tried. And the Golden God did break it. We will talk about him. Don't you worry. And David said it first. Australian Survivor was carrying this year. So I have to ask, Abe, did you watch Survivor AU at all this year?
So I did. I love Australian Survivor. I remember meeting King George for the first time at a charity event, and I was like, it was like, hey, that's King George, and I was like, who might that be? Then I saw him play Survivor, and he gives a master class in how to play Survivor. You would never suspect it when you meet him and be like, okay, man, this is King George. King who again? Who? Why? And he got a tattoo and everything to represent Survivor. I think AU stands on its own in how they play. I think that, it's a longer season. It's a more physical challenges. But if you can get in there and tune in, you can definitely see Survivor. And that's what Survivor is. It's never going to be the same no matter where it's played at. Ran into a couple of players from Quebec from their seasons. So every location, every version of it still has the same concept. Outwit, play, outlast. That's Survivor. And if you can do that in multiple locations, I think you got a recipe for greatness. And we've seen that. Don't get me wrong now. I wouldn't mind going over to Australia playing, but because they pack in box lunches and they come into work.
They are. And I mean, right, let's get into it. Actually, before we do, everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. We have got some questions that people submitted via Instagram. If you have any questions you want to ask us for this end of year review, please put them in the chat because we will answer them no matter how shady, no matter how funny, no matter how just intense they need to be, we will answer them. If I put a veto on something, just know you've gone a little bit too far, but we should be fine. Let's get into the first bit. Let's get into the hosts. Obviously, we have Mr. Probes, Mr. Jeffrey, Uncle Jeff, Uncle Jay, however, whatever we want to call him, it's allowed. And then we also had Jonathan, JLP. It was his final seasons this year. And we now have David joining the AU hosting team. So what did you think about the hosts this season and what's to come?
Well, I've always grown up on Jonathan. I've only seen Jonathan as a host for Australian Survivor. And again, just as much as the 18 players makes it, the host makes it. And I think Jonathan did a great job. Again, as a viewer, you're trying to say, okay, how can I get used to this new guy? Because see, I know what Jeff's going to do. I know how Jeff is going to present it. And I know Jeff is going to try to pull out them questions and he's going to make Tribal Council interactive. Same thing with JLP. But here's the thing. We don't know David yet. David might be the next coming for an Australian Survivor, but we won't know until it airs and we see how he gets in there and interact with the players. But it's going to be kind of different. I mean, you kind of get used to the mainstays. The players always change, but the host has always been the same. So it's going to be kind of different not seeing him in there. I think US Survivor will be the same. If Jeff wasn't there, you'd be like, man, I don't like Jeff. He's always doing this, he's doing that. But if he's gone, it's like, man, who really do we want to see take that spot in? Will they have that same? Jeff got a lot of history with him. And even in Australian Survivor, he got a lot of history, and they make the show just as much as the players make the show. So I don't know yet. I gotta. The story is still out on the next host for Australian Survivor.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing with David. David was a previous player, so I think that in itself is going to be an interesting dynamic where the person that's now going to be hosting Australian Survivor has played the game. So how is that going to play into his hosting?
Let me tell you something.
Personality.
I'll explain to you like this. On my season of Survivor, we had to carry these sandbags. And I said, hey, Jeff, how much does the sandbags weigh? He just looked at me. I said, okay, well, I got this. When I touched them sandbags, you know how they say, you done made a mistake in life? It was a mistake in life. I should have just grabbed one, but I already grabbed two, so I was committed. That's going to be the same thing. I think when David's in there, he knows what it feels like. Where somebody else doesn't know the feeling of it. He knows what it's going to be out there sleeping in the jungle. So he does bring a diversity to being a host, actually, and being a player. So I think that's going to benefit us. So, but how he is with the players, how he's going to pull out what we want to hear or ask those questions, that's yet to be seen. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I'm not going to lie. I loved JLP. This is my hot take has always been JLP has been a better host than Jeff. So I was really sad to kind of hear that it was going to be JLP's last season. I mean, Daryl said it. JLP, we love you.
Oh, yeah.
JLP, like, absolute love for that man. He was great. He brought such a fun energy to Australian Survivor, and it's just one of those things where it's like with Australian Survivor, I really do see it as kind of JLP. JLP was so good with it. And Zans has just put in regards to David, it's going to be weird if he inserts his experience into his hosting. It's not the formula. And then Gabe says, I'll give David a chance. Not his fault production changed hosts. Absolutely. And Daryl also says that Brooke and Harry played with David and they'll be on the season David is hosting, which is quite a full circle moment. There was another comment I wanted to bring. It was actually one of Gabe's original comments. I miss Jonathan. He had a good run. Jeff had some cringe moments this year, like chicken and waffles. I do need to touch on this because, like, Jeffrey, love you to pieces. My man was doing too much. Fried chicken and waffles, didn't need it. No. And I think he realized because obviously he got to see 48 play out and then go and film 49 and 50. And I think he realized, I'm not going to do any of those chants. So I really do hope for next season and next year we don't see that much chanting. I don't need fried chicken and waffles again.
I think you learned your lessons. I think you learned your lessons where you think something might work. And then here's the thing about it is Jeff don't look at the replays by himself. So somebody's sitting there like, hey, I think that's a good idea, Jeff. Try that out. Then they was like, that didn't go over too well. So I don't think we're gonna see it again. I think it's enough people that said that just didn't go the way we thought it was gonna go. I'll give you credit for trying.
Yes,
you tried it, and it just didn't go that well. We really don't need, like, when you're in there and you're playing, the most irritating thing, which is actually the best thing for the show, is Jeff talking in the background, because that's where you get your best responses. Like, man, shut the hell up. We know we's losing. We know we in the back. We don't need you to tell us, but those are the best moments created for the show. So I see how it all mirrors together. But yeah, sometimes you try something a little too different.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that didn't, we tried Uncle Jeff this year. And again, the 18 castaways are gonna try what they want to try. And they did. Some of them went over well. He not old enough to be my uncle, so he ain't gonna never get called my uncle.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind Uncle Jeff. I will say this right now. At first, I was like, oh, but then I was like, actually, why do I care? Because again, I coined Jeffrey off of Courtney Yates, so I'm fine with Uncle Jeff. Like
Jeffrey's different than my Uncle Jeff, because I'm like, yeah, Jeff, you good with Jeffrey? I could go with, hey, Jeffrey, just as a play on his name to be like, hey, Jeffrey.
But see, but I do it because I'm a sarky little. Yeah, like I've got the Courtney Yates energy where I'm just like, no, Jeffrey. Like there's sass to it.
They'd be like, but yeah, I again, everybody's gonna try. It's like Rome did that one season. Hey, can I come sit in your chair? Everybody gonna get their moment, and I applaud everybody for taking their moment, because somebody one season said, hey, Jeff, can I get a kiss? So I mean, so it's always going to be something that, you know what? I put that in the memorable moments. It's going to be something that we can be like, nah, but 5 years, 5 seasons from now, we'll be like, man, you remember they were saying Uncle Jeff or Jeffrey? And we're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So it's a memorable moment that we wish we could forget. How about that?
I'm fine with it for now. I don't need to forget it, but we'll wait and see. But right, we've talked about the hosts. We've gotten the Jeff and the JLP and the David in there. Let's talk about kind of the players. Let's start talking about some of our memorable players.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we have had, obviously, probably the 4 main shows we will talk about: Survivor 48, Survivor 49, Survivor AU Brains versus Bronze, and Australia versus the World. So we'll have a little bit of everywhere. But Abe, when it comes to kind of physical players, strategic players, social players, we're all going to group those ones together. Was there anyone that stood out for you this year, or you kind of want to show some love to?
I think that for me, out of the new era players, the players that really embodied the game, really played the game, it would have to be season 48, Kyle and Camilla.
Mhm.
I think they really showed if you work together, either one of those players sitting in that chair could have won. If Kyle was sitting in the chair with the last three, he could have won. Camilla, had she been sitting in those chairs with the last three, she would have won because they played such a romance of the game. Hey, you do this right here. I'm going to do this right here. And they didn't sell each other out. They just kept playing. So those are my two picks for the entire new era that really played the game together to outwit, outplay, outlast. Because even when Camilla was sitting in the jury and somebody wanted to say something to get credit for it, she was like, hold on, this is how this happened. This is how this happened. Now, when you got somebody in the jury supporting you as the winner, there's no doubt it's going to be the winner.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. For me, I loved Camilla and Kyle. Camilla more so. Camilla was my girly on that one. There were a lot of people that I thought showed some really good, like this year, when you look at it, I think strategy has been quite strong. I mean, like, give Joe his credit. Like, Joe was able to strategically put himself into, like, a really strong alliance. I was just giving him a little bit of credit. And then from Australia, a little bit. From Australia, Brains versus Brawn, I mean, Miles and AJ were two of the most strategically dominant players we have seen in a very long while. Like, AJ, from literally throwing like grenades and like pre-merge to getting final three, I was like, that is insane. Like, I remember watching the season and absolutely being like, what is AJ doing? To actually like being able to have that time to reflect, to be like, nah, AJ was really strong strategically. And it shows because when it comes to Traitors Australia, he was plucked. They wanted AJ to join Traitors Australia. So, I mean, it kind of proves how strong he is.
I think they're also, the way they play the game has grown so much. Like, I got introduced with King George on his second season, not his first season. And then seeing how that group of players played that season, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Hold on, wait. And it's like it's moving, but you don't think it's moving. It's like, no, they're moving. Yeah. They're playing. They're making decisions. Hey, look, no, they're gonna challenge that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so I think when it comes to that, we see the culmination of, look at y'all future Survivor players. Look at the old players in the old seasons and be like, okay, what can I glean from that? And I think that's what we see with AJ and them. Where can I take from the older players that played before me to put into my game? Because here's the thing about it is, no matter if it's Australia, Quebec, no matter if it's England or whatever, it's the 18 players you got to play with. But everybody has something that's similar to them in the game of Survivor. We all came to play, but we all going to play a different way. Example, it's going to be somebody that's not going to do no challenges. They look, either they're not good at challenges or they just not gonna be doing challenges. Now, do we just vote them out? No. How can I play with them and how can I fit them in here? It's gonna always be the meat shields. I think I only heard meat shields in Australia Survivor. I don't think I've ever heard in US Survivor.
Yeah, I was gonna say more. I would say there's more meat shields in US, like meat shields in US Survivor more than Australia.
Because I'm like, Jonathan would have been one for his season 42. But you're gonna always have at least one player to fit that category. And then you got to figure out how. Here's the thing: you got to figure out how you're gonna use everybody in the game to get to that winning spot.
Yeah,
but I still say Australia Survivor beat us out.
Oh, 100%. For God's sake, Gabe, you know who did. Not saying his name repeatedly. I do. There's no beef with Kalen, just FYI. But just going back to kind of what we've mentioned so far. Zan saying he's looking forward to Camilla on 50 more than Kyle. Daryl is saying AJ was phenomenal. And Gabe as well. Miles and AJ, chaotic strategist, which is very, very true. Right, so we've touched on the kind of strategic and the physical. Was there any social players that stood out to you, Abe, this year? Was there any social moments as well that really, like, you kind of looked at and remembered?
I'm going to go back in time to season 42, the winner of season 42. Back to her speech, the final three. and I want to call it Marianne. Marianne gave a speech at the end that solidified the win for her because she said, not only did I play the game of Survivor, let me pull out this immunity idol that I didn't have to play for myself. When she said that part of her speech, it was sealed. It's like, hey, I played the game. People forget, like when you're on a jury, here's the criteria: outwit, outplay, outlast. Even though I always tell people juries are petty. There's always one or two petty people on the jury. So you don't know how and what direction they're gonna go in. But as far as gameplay and coming into season 2 with not knowing what to expect, just like season 41, I think Marianne articulated how to win the game of Survivor and not be one that's the target or the one that would have been, hey, you know what? When this season starts, Marianne's going to be the winner. No, Marianne didn't look like the winner. What she did have was a positive attitude every day. Marianne was laughing. She seemed like she was just getting along to be along. But when she gave out that speech and she pulled out that idol that she didn't have to use, solidified 42.
And what does that have to do with 2025 Survivor?
It's the whole era. I went from 41 to 49. We only doing 20. Oh, we only had 2 seasons. 48 and 49, man. See, that's why I don't do anything with you, Ollie. Hold up, man. I was on the road with that one too, man. It was something.
Okay, credit to you. It was a great speech. I had nothing to do with the video.
You said, do it with the question. Okay, back to the question. Hey, back to the question, everyone. What we got? 48, 49? Let's see.
Isabel. Yes, Isabel.
Yes, Isabel. I'm just Ollie don't even let me come on a podcast this late in the season. Anyway. 48 and 49. Who else?
Well, it doesn't just have to be 48 or 49.
You said 2025.
Well, yeah, because there's Australian Survivor. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
I could literally. I mean, Gabe's put a great person. Logan was the queen, like social player. Like, I'm gonna give Logan her props right now. I mean, you've also got 3, who like socially killed A versus the World.
Man, Cherie is a great person.
Yeah,
Cherie is a great person.
So
why you didn't say Parvati?
Right. Well, to be fair, you've got. I mean, Kimberly's just put in the chat. Socially, I think Parv did fantastic. Everyone knew what she was doing and still got the job done. I mean, we've also not, in terms of just recently, 49. Sophie B and Sage, I feel like are 2 great social players. No.
I think, to me, Sophie was a middle to ground player that had opportunities to make some great moves, but really waited to the end. It's like, remember when Mitch played? Mitch was like, hey, I'm gonna make a move, make a move. The next thing you know, he's in the 3rd seat, and they're like, time's up. No move to be made. You're done. So for me, I think where Sophie kind of falls in the middle of the road for me is when she had opportunity to take Rizzo's immunity idol. You took the immunity out of there. Then you had the knowledge is power. You could have came in there and snatched something else with a knowledge is power, and you missed those opportunities, and it was not a play well. So now you're sitting in the 3rd seat trying to describe your game when everybody else had a game around yours. So when Rizzo left, that means that Savannah was the only one that could speak on the game that they played together that had an opportunity to win. So Rizzo was going to give Savannah his vote, not Sophie. So now Sage, let me tell you the best thing about Sage was her facial expressions and her interviews. I don't know if they just had perfect timing. I don't know if they talked to her afterwards, but everything with her kind of synced up. But also, she got caught slipping. Y'all had an opportunity to make a big move, which would have put Sage in an opportunity to win Survivor that season. But again, this is, this quarterbacking. We already seen it.
Well, I've got a Q&A question here that I want to bring up, just because you talked about Sage and her confessionals and how she was really, like, obviously she was quite good TV. So we have this one here. which was which players, I'm assuming this year, have been the best TV players. So who has kind of been like a memorable kind of person? Like they may have not been the strongest strategically, they may have not been the most social, like they were great TV. One person comes to mind straight away when I think
Who you got? 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 Hold on. Who you
from
got?
Australian Survivor. Paulie. Paulie
Okay.
from Australian Survivor. And Isabel said my other person, Say.
You know what? I don't know how Say didn't make it on the 50.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, Say was just so much raw energy of just what the hell that wasn't a good mixture for 50.
Yeah.
You saying Say wasn't a good mixture? I mean, if you look at people that got voted out before the merge, I mean, Say is right there with the memorable players. Like, oh no, Say got to be in there. Granted, she was on the struggle bus tribe, but Say would have been in there. So I gotta agree with those. I agree with those two. Two.
Yeah, and the other people in the chat, I am just going to grab them. Kimberly, so actually Gabe first said Sage was a fun character. Not a great player, fumbled being in power. You've got Kimberly that said the milkman, or as we liked to call him, the chocolate milkman, David.
David was psychotic. What?
And then Gabe also does agree with Paulie. Paulie was fantastic for me when it came to TV. Like for me, one of the funniest or like just memorable TV moments for me this year was when it was they had just voted, they'd done Baron and Bounty. That was the kind of twist during the merge of Survivor AU. Mm-hmm. Half of the tribe were living in luxury. Half of the tribe, it was literally barren. It like think Survivor Fiji. And they literally had a scene of Paulie, and it was like black and white, like violins were playing. It was like a repeat of all the votes Paulie was getting. And like you just saw Paulie, like literally, Paulie was how I would have reacted, but I loved it. It was so great. Also, Isabel has also made a good call. Let's not forget Queen Karen. Karen was great TV. From Australia, Brains vs. Brawn. She had such good confessionals when they decided to show up.
Hey, look, but that's I mean, that's what makes us want to champion your player versus over my player, who I think would have been the player. And it's like, okay. And again, here's again, no matter what side of the water you're on, we're like, hey, I want to be invested in that player. I want to be able to say, oh, hey, man, I'm rooting for him. I want to have an emotional reaction when they get voted out. No, not my player. No, I need a couple of days to myself. I can't talk about it tonight. That's the game of Survivor right there. Now, if you can invoke that emotional response from me or us as a viewer, that's when we got a good season. Yeah. Now, a couple of players, they evoke some anger. The milkman, I mean, he was just like, what the milkman went crazy when they was voting him out. I was like, what?
I know, but what was really funny was when he randomly, when Mary was getting voted out and he stood up in solidarity. That was so stupidly funny. I loved that. It was just stupid. Like in a funny way. I want to clarify. I'm not calling David stupid. I'm just saying it was stupidly funny.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna run across them all. I'll be like, what was the purpose in standing up? I'm like, does the jury really get instructions to stand up or do? Usually I thought they just sat there and make facial expressions. So it's interesting.
Down, you stand up.
And I was like, Dave, what you doing? I haven't met David in person somewhere. I mean, we'll run across each other eventually, but that thing was funny. I was like, you can stand up now? And that's the crazy part about it. But you know, again, it adds to the flavor of Survivor and the unexpected things that can happen.
Yeah.
On a night. That's like who came walking in slow-mo in the rain with his shirt open? So I mean, did they script that or was that
you
looked at it?
That was Survivor Gods. That was the Survivor Gods going, we're gonna let everyone see this. And we went, thank you very much.
Yeah, and it was like y'all caught that and that was like, I was like, is that the slow-mo camera? because y'all had me confused. The slow bow.
It was, well, Daryl has said David broke the mold, which he did for that one. And just lastly, before we move on, Daryl's also wanted to throw out Thomas was a fun, chaotic character and he left too soon, which I do agree with. I feel like if Thomas was there a little bit longer, we would have had a really good villain. We would have had a really sassy villain on 48 because I think he definitely would have targeted the Davids and the Joes and the Evas. And I feel like
I think Thomas got hit with didn't he get hit with a split? They got split up.
Hit with an idol.
Yeah, but it was one of those situations where he got hit with the idol from Kyle and them, but it was doing when they divided the tribe or swap. It was a tribe swap or something.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with you. You're absolutely correct. I think he would have been the fire for that season, but he also went home with something in his pocket.
Yeah, he did.
So
we don't talk about that.
he was real confident in himself, and then he got put at home.
Well, I've got another question, and it's from Tori this time. And Tori actually asks, which Survivor 48 and 49 players would you like to see on the Traitors?
Man, hold on. I got to wait. Hold on. Who would have been fun on the Traitors?
Do you know what I would love to see? Like, side note, Thomas on the Traitors. I would love to see Mary from 48 on the Traitors. I feel like Mary would be so funny.
But if we're gonna do Mary, we might as well do 48. No,
if we do Mary,
I'm gonna do Star.
That would be
I would love to see Star, see how she's gonna react, man. Star is a great person. I got a chance to talk to her in December. But I think she would be on the Traitors would be hilarious. Something unexpected. Mary,
what
I
about
think would be an
49?
assassin. 49. Who's in 40? Hold on a second. Who's in 49 that I think would make a good?
I don't know whether this is a read or not, but Daryl literally put Jeremiah from 49. And I hope that wouldn't be because I love Jeremiah. Isabella's also saying I love Star, and Kimberly's also there. Star would be funny. Two people that I would put on would be Savannah and Sage. Those would be my 249 picks. I'd also guess I'd say Rizzo. Like, Rizzo would probably be I would say funny one, but it would just be an interesting dynamic just because he's so confident.
I don't know if I can't. Hold on, I gotta figure out her name. She got voted out. Sage, she was Sage's Achilles heel. What was it? Hold on, I got it right here. We're not
Shannon?
That Shannon. Was Shannon the one? No, you know what? Jawan. I'm with Jawan on Traitors. Look, I'm throwing Jawan in there.
Yeah.
Jawan was
do you know what? Yeah.
Hold on, Jawan was who was I looking for first? Jawan was the most happiest player and supportive ever in the game of Survivor. I think we talk about the same person. I'd like to give a shout out to Nicole too. Because somebody always got to be first on the game. And not Sage.
Yeah.
Where's her? Savannah. You know what?
For everyone that does not know.
Shannon.
Okay, I thought you were talking about.
I think Shannon would play a good game with Traitors. I think she'll play a good game with Traitors. But let's put two players on there so we know Shannon and Sage. I think they would be great for Traitors together.
Yeah, I would hope Sage gets become a traitor and murders her first. That'd be so funny.
Say, look, I played Traitors for in December for a charity, and I had the best time. And the person that got me, you would have never thought he was that. Was it Faithful?
Yeah, Faithful and Traitors. Well, they have in the UK here, they have Traitors live experience. They have a live experience where you play Traitors for 2 hours. I can confirm it's fun.
Yeah, they would be. I wish we would get that because it was such a fun game, and I made it third. I made it to number 3, and both of the Traitors got me.
I was gonna say I got banished at the second to last round table. But no, they are doing a Traitors live experience in New York for a period of time. There was a period of time in January they're doing Traitors Live Experience in New York.
No, it's snowing in New York right now. You gotta get out.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just come to the UK. We'll have it on for longer.
Actually, you know what? We have a direct flight out of Austin to the UK.
There you go.
I think I might
It's in
jump on the flight.
London.
Yeah, I might jump on the flight just to come hang out.
Yeah.
How far are you from London?
Not that far. Not that far. I can get there. If we go to Traitors Live, we'll go. We'll do it. But right, we're not talking about Traitors. We're talking about Survivor. So let's move on to some of the moves. Let's go with also Pickle. Pickle is in the chat, looking good. Thank you, my darling. You know, Josh, if you want to join this, you can just ask and we can get you the link sent. Just FYI. You can come say hi. But let's talk about some of the moves. Some of the moves we've seen this year that we really thought were standouts, or it could have been some major missed opportunities. So are there any moves that stand out to you, Abe?
For this year? Since you can't, I can't go back in time. You hamstring me to 2025. Between the two seasons, I gotta go back to 48. I mean, 48. I gotta say Camilla and Kyle. I mean, they played the best game. But I'll go back even a little further in 48 to the Thomas vote out, where they convinced Thomas that he was safe and ended up voting him out, and then they survived voting Thomas out and turned around and befriended David and Joe. I was like, that is the best play ever. One of them played like they didn't know.
David and Joe. I think it was Shaheen and Joe.
Shaheen and Joe. I forgot about Shaheen. My bad, Shaheen. Shaheen and Joe, they turned around and befriended them, and they became another duo. But Thomas was gone. So I think as far as gameplay in Survivor, that was one of the best plays I've seen this season. Where something worked.
I definitely think that was such a subtle move that occurred that I thought was really good. For me, one of the moves that really stood out to me was Australian Survivor once again. Brains versus Brawn, and it was Miles correctly using his knowledge as power. So sorry, Sophie. He correctly used his knowledge as power to take Kristen's idol and then use her idol. Used her idol, played it on Paulie. Paulie got all the votes negated, and then it was PD who went home. But the funny part was PD was Kristen's like ride or die. So he used Kristen's idol to get out her ride or die, which I just thought was like, there was strategy in it. There was a bit of pettiness in it. I was like, this is good. And it's one of the first times we have seen knowledge is power used correctly.
I'm all for pettiness. I'm a Gemini. I'm all for that pettiness. Ain't no wrong with a little petty. A little petty.
We love it. Also, Gabe's also saying Miles saving Paulie, Kyle Idol against Thomas, Savannah and Rizzo running merge, and Poverty turning on Worlds. That was a big one as well, actually, in AU versus the World. That was a very big moment.
AU versus the World was a short season. It was a short season. It was interesting, but it was a short season. I would love to see AU versus the World in a regular season, season length.
If that was longer, I would have loved to have seen the dynamics. I mean, you had it was Kirby versus Sarah. I mean, look, I was always team Sarah. Love Sarah Talecki, like with my heart. That dynamic was so fun to see because there was just this twists and turns, and like Kirby came to play and like made some really strong moves. And I actually think on AU versus the World, the vote out to get Kirby was such a big moment as well, because it really did change the directory, and it was done so subtly that it made such a big impact, which I liked.
Well, that's the thing about it is in AU versus the World and how they played, the moves were like 3 or 4 moves ahead. They wasn't just to make a move like, we're gonna make a move now. No. What move? If I make this move, what's gonna be the impact 2 or 3 tribals from now? So we saw a lot of good gameplay, but we also saw a lot of good veteran players that were in there playing. So, you know, it's different when you get a fresh cast, and either that's their first season. So it's going to be interesting when we move to 50, how that's going to translate over. But AU versus the World, Brains versus Bonds, we had players that had played before. So they were bringing a whole different perspective to how to play the game, especially when you learn from the first time. A lot of players, I don't think Q might have learned this time, but we're gonna see. So no shot at you, Q. Just saying. I hope you don't bring the Q skirt back.
Oh, he'll probably think of something else. We will probably see something other clothing related brought back. I also just want to touch on some things that obviously were missed opportunities. Sage and Christina not voting Sophie B, I'm going to assume that is, and Blue Sophie not stealing Rizzo's idol. Daryl's also saying Sarah voting David out was her biggest mistake, which I can confirm. If anyone has not watched our exit interviews for AU vs. the World, I did ask Sarah about that. So that's a nice little plug to go check out our exit interviews for AU vs. the World, because you get all the nice insights. And Sarah Teleki is a queen. So that was my just little plug.
So is that your plug? I think that's your plug, guy. I'm just saying.
But right. I wanna go to another Q&A question just because it's player related, and it is from Cara, which is your favorite and least favorite player this year.
Oh shit!
I told you some of them were going to be a little shady.
Is that Cara for us? Is that the same?
Yeah, that's not Cara. That's not Cara.
She could have came on and did this. Least player. It's not the least player. It's just some of the things that were done that I was like, it were, to me, they came off theatrical. And again, this is not coming from meeting the person. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the player in the game of Survivor. Two different people, because we know each other when we all meet. We be like, hey, how you doing? But we also know we're people. So I didn't like Rizzo as a player. Riz will never call you the other one, but I just didn't like him. I also don't see how he made it on 50 compared to the selection of players that were available that I think would have spiced up 50. Sage would have definitely spiced up 50. And I don't know, again, she may have gotten an opportunity and didn't make the final cut, but I don't see where. Matter of fact, no shade to D and none of the winners, but Kyle, D, and them other winners, nah, y'all not playing either.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, Rizzo was not one of my favorites. Shannon, I am gonna have to say,
what?
Wasn't here for it. Wasn't here for all the guru meditating. Was not. And it was literally like I felt like I was kind of Sage. I was Sage on the sense of it was not for me. It was not for me.
In the Buddha.
Australia, survived Brains versus Brawn. There was Rich. Was not a fan of Rich. He was the producer or something. He was like the film director. Bomb Squad, I was not here for that. But who I did love, I will say, because I'm Abe, I'm gonna be nice. We each get like a favorite person from each season. For me, 48 is Mary. I have to give some love to Mary. 49, I'm going to give my love to Sage. AU, oh, he's gone. There he is. Brains versus Brawn, I have a tie. It's really hard, but I'm going to go with Logan. I've got to give my girl Logan some love. And for AU versus the World, I've got to give it to Sarah. I can't not give it to Sarah. Abe, are you still thinking? And do I need to go through some of the comments first?
No, okay, I got it. Okay, 40. We only get one pick per episode. Okay,
per season.
48. I'm gonna go with my man Cedric. Cedric. I think he played a great season. He didn't change who he was. Cedric said, I ain't running. I ain't gonna be running today. I ain't gonna be running tomorrow. Mitch, do I get 2 or 1?
You get. Well, I was going for 1 from the favorite, but if you have multiple least favorites, go for it.
It's different because I get an opportunity to meet them personally. So I'm like, I think Mitch was a great player. I think Mitch. I'm gonna tell you a quick crazy story about Mitch. I didn't know Mitch studied when I first met him because me and Mitch had a regular conversation. It wasn't like a 2-minute conversation. We were standing there talking, and I was like, he was like, and then he was like, then he got to show he was stuttering. I was like, he really stutters? because Mitch, and again, I'm pretty sure it depends on what he's doing and whatnot. But I like Mitch, and I just like his push forward attitude. He's a school teacher, so Mitch is gonna be my favorite.
Mitch also, for me, has the best meme this season, where literally somehow the meme, it was the no, no, no. That meme was hilarious to me. Did you say Cedric was your least favorite?
Now I said Riz. Cedric was my
Riz.
favorite too.
Oh, Cedric was your
because
favorite.
Cedric, yeah,
Well,
Cedric. What did say AJ?
Daryl did not agree. AJ from Brains versus Brawn, but Cedric from 48 was his least favorite.
I'm trying to find his
Zanz
name.
actually has Christina as their least favorite. Zanz agrees with you. He says, "I love Shannon. I built a shrine and say blessings to her each day." And Isabel, Isabel's given us a lot of love. Isabel saying Camilla was her favorite in 48, and 49 it was Sage, and AU it was Karen and Sari. Those were her favorites.
I'm gonna go. Nash was my funny guy too. Nash was funny.
Nash was funny. Nash is good. I'd also say if you get Nash on the podcast, great talker. Love him.
I thought we had him on the podcast.
We did.
No,
we
exit
did.
interview.
Yeah, well, no, exit interview, and he surprised us halfway through the premiere episode of AU vs. the World. He was like, "I'll come on," and we were like, "Come on."
Look, Nash says, I got an idol. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I found this already. He kind of remind me a little bit of Russell Hands.
Yes. Yeah, I think I even said that. I think I said he did have a little Hands energy.
A little bit. Right up until they voted him out.
I wanna move on a little bit and kind of just talk about the podcast. Like, I know we're doing 49 and all the Survivor seasons. We're going to get to 50 as well. But I want to give us some love on the podcast. Obviously, we've had a bit of changes going on. However, I feel like we've had some really nice moments on the podcast this year. So, Abe, I want to ask you, what has been a highlight for you this season, podcasting-wise?
You know what? This is one of the I mean, for those that don't know, for everybody that's on Survivor Now podcast, we're not located around each other. You know, Ollie lives the furthest. Ollie's in England. We got few in Matthew, Kara in New York. Where's Bruce at? Bruce is in Rhode Island. I keep forgetting. I know it's cold and wet and rainy. He's in Rhode Island. Will is in somewhere. Will. And I forget Will's podcast buddy's name. I can't remember his name.
Josh Pickle, who was just in the chat. He's in Connecticut.
Josh is in Connecticut. We had an opportunity to all meet together. And you know what? It's rare that a podcast with so many different personalities and so stretched so far apart that we at least get to meet and see each other and go to a party together and enjoy what we're doing. Survivor Now. So that was the best moment, man. New York season finale with everybody from the podcast together, except for Tori. Tori's hanging out in Chicago.
Tori and Josh Green both sadly were not there.
Yeah.
It was a shame. But we did actually have Tori join this year, which was very exciting. And I feel like we have had some really nice moments. I do want to shout out the summer content we had. Not just because most of it was me, the vain moment, but I feel like we showed that it wasn't just we're going to recap the seasons and then we're going to go away. Like, Tori had a great thing of Babes and Buffs where I joined her and we managed to get some lovely guests. Shout out Caroline, shout out Abby Maria, shout out Leslie, shout out Bianca, shout out Janet. Like, we were talking about all the inspiring women of over the years of Survivor US, and it was a really fun podcast. We got to create some amazing teams. That was such a fun kind of little series we did off season. So I really enjoyed that. And just some of the fun stuff we did off season, like the season rankings, Pride in the Tribe. That's been really fun to do as well.
I think it's fun when we kind of we feed off each other. Cause I tell about that, look, Tori was over the podcast one night, but it's a rhythm about the podcast. When do you come in there? When did you turn it around? Or when do you let me bring up this so we can get back on track? Or it's a method to the podcast madness. It seems like it's madness, but to us, and me, I think for me, I'd be like, okay, well, I want to put this in here and it's going to be in timeline of what we're doing, or we're just cracking up because we're doing something that y'all can't see, but the person that you do see is like, why are they laughing? Well, because that was pretty funny. We just, oh, we mute the mic or we text each other on the side. I mean, it's for us, it's more than just looking at an episode of Survivor and making criticisms of players and how they play. We'd be like, man, I was in the jungle. It's hot out there. What was they doing? I'm gonna tell you a funny story. It may not be, I don't know if it's gonna be funny, man. It might not be funny. In December, there was an episode for 49. And I'm sitting next to Sandra, and we watching Survivor and Bob Crowley's wife. So anybody know Bob? He won season
Gabon.
3. Was it?
No, 17. Gabon.
Oh, 17. I was like, damn. But Bob's wife is out there, and we're all looking at Survivor, and we're looking at a particular episode, and we're seeing something that's in my mind. I'm talking about it, but I'm not vocalizing it until Sandra says something. She said, "Hey, did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we just had a good laugh about it because it was like season 49 episode going on, 2 of the players talking to each other, but it was something so funny in the episode. But I wasn't saying, I was like, well, maybe I'm not seeing what I'm seeing until Sandra said something. But I mean, that's what Survivor is. And then I got a chance to take a picture with Kyle, David Jones, and I always forget what's his name until I see him. We was all in New York together, and matter of fact, Kyle was trying to duck out the door, and I did him like a fan. I was like, "Hey man, can I get a picture?" And I said, "My bad," because I knew I had seen him like 5 minutes earlier, saying he was trying to leave because he had just flown back in. I want to say from Ghana, so he had just flown back in Guyana. He had flown back in from Guyana, came to the party, and then he was just trying to get home to get some rest. And he was at that front door, and I was like, "Hey man, can I get a picture?" He was like, "Nah, come on man, we get a picture." And what was crazy is that picture got like 9,000 views. And it was just a spare of the moment. Hey, fellow Survivor players, we're here at the door. Let's take this picture. Hey, thanks for the individual that took the picture, because he took like 3 or 4 pictures, man. And I was like, it was just, we get to do something amazing.
Yes.
And share it with so many different people, even the people that comes in the comments. You know, y'all make the show too, because there's some comments we don't read. So when I'm sitting in the spot where I can control, I'll be looking at them comments like, nah, we can't put that out there. So, no,
there are some comments before I've been like, no, can't do that. I appreciate everyone that kind of tunes in as well. We're doing the sentimental bit now just to get it over with. But it's like, you're right, like the outreach. I mean, we've had a post. I remember when the 50 cast was announced, and Randy had already pre-prepared a photo that we posted on Instagram and on X. And it blew up, and it continues to still blow up. We're always getting engagement on that photo. And like, it just shows the reach, but also we have grown so much. I mean, Bryce and Wen, just want to shout you guys out, because we have had the privilege now to do pre-shows at the New York finale for 49 and 48, which has been so fun to do. I mean, we got to do a little thing at Ron Clark event this year. So it's been like really fun. Zans has put in the comment, I hope 49 was the biggest season of Survivor now yet. It seemed great and had such amazing guests.
I'm gonna disagree.
The reason I put that up, sorry, I have to cut you off, is because I do have a Q&A question that I feel like goes well with that, which is from Rob, which is, who was a memorable guest on the podcast this, I think it's meant to be this season, but this year? Like, we've had some good guests this year. Like, who are they?
Who was it? Oh man, it was a young lady. She was on a podcast with me. I thought it was me, you, and Bruce. She was a player.
Rachel?
Was it Rachel? I think it was Rachel. Oh, that was a good one. Because me and Rachel talked after the podcast.
Yes, you did.
Man, is that Bruce?
Yes, Bruce.
Bruce. So Bruce can type, but he can't come on the podcast. We find Bruce for next year.
Bruce, not well.
Yeah, I know. I hope he feels better. That's why I ain't been texting him. I hope he feels better.
But also to confirm it with Rachel.
Oh,
that was the day I was up until about 5 a.m. Because
that was Rachel. I said Rachel for me was the best guest we had this year, because it's we had a great opportunity in December, man, to meet some of the older players. Got a chance to meet Rupert. Got a chance to meet Ben. Some players that had played hadn't come to the charity event in December in quite some time.
Yeah.
And just to be able to meet them and thank them. I mean, if they didn't play Survivor and they didn't have the impact that they had, there would have been no Survivor for us.
Yeah.
So to thank them, and Rupert, let me tell you something, man. I didn't think Rupert was going to be as funny as he was, because I heard some things about Rupert, but I like to meet you before I make my opinion of you. I don't do my opinion based off other people's opinion, because it could come from somewhere else. Man, when I got in the back of that trunk of that car, and we were just coming back from Discovery Cove, and Rupert needed a ride, and Nasir driving is bad, y'all. So I ain't lie about that part. And me and Bruce taped the video with him coming out the woods. Here's the funny part. That was the second video. The first one I messed up. I think I taped it wrong. It didn't come out there with Bruce. And Bruce, I was like, hey, let's do it again. And posted that saying, hey, season 51, Bruce is back. But the one when I was riding in the back of the trunk and Rupert was in the car, you're talking about a legend. Rupert in the car with us new era Survivor players. And I was like, yeah, man, they got me trapped in the back of the car, man. And we were just having such a good day that day, because we did Discovery Cove. And then we got opportunity to go back and take pictures and hang out and kind of pick his brain and stuff. So for me, I've had a lot of great memorable moments. I do want to take a minute to give a shout out to two things before we go on, Ollie. Omar is someone that puts together the charity event that most of us attend in December down in Orlando. And I don't want to forget Ann, because if I see Omar, I see Ann. And you're talking about 130 reality stars coming down for 3 days. Some of us come in early. There's another Ann that comes in from England, and there were people coming from around the world to attend this event. Big Brother player passed away here. Mickey passed away. I got an opportunity to meet her at that event. And I talked to Omar today because he asked me a question about something else. And I was thanking him because there's no way to get us all together from different shows. And that was one of those opportunities to say thank you to someone that I got an opportunity to meet that unfortunately passed away before Christmas, but sadly missed. I know the Big Brother family is our family in the reality world, but I got a chance to meet her, a great young lady. But we wouldn't have met her. I got a chance to hang out with Bruce, for 4 days, 3 days with Bruce and Nasir and all the other different reality folks. It is a great time for us. So just want to give a shout out.
No, absolutely. Because I mean, Omar does so much for the Survivor and just reality TV community. So it's like great you shouted Omar out. I mean, I've got so much Survivor memorabilia now because of Omar, so I give him all the shout out and the love. The fact that he also obviously sends it to my house in the UK, I'm like, thank you. And also you said, Rupert, I feel like a 2026 goal is to get Rupert on the podcast.
No, he said he would come on the show. He said he would come on. Bruce took care of it. We got to get with his people.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, Bruce. We were recruiting during the weekend. We recruited a lot of people to come on this year's podcast. Yeah. So and that's what I was going back to when he said season 49 was a great year. No, season 50 is about to be a great year. We recruited some new players.
Trust me. Yeah,
some great old players that we haven't heard from in a while that we would love to hear from. Yes. We were doing our recruitment down there. Yeah. We should kick it off with the Queen. You know what would be a good podcast? Sandra and her daughter on the same podcast.
Yes. We will try I mean, viewers, you don't know this, but we've got some plans for pre-season 50, but just 2026 podcast in general. We are getting people.
Y'all got to come in there.
I just want to quickly say, obviously, with Over the Edge, December 3rd to December 6th, 2026.
Hey, Bruce, since you're sitting there, are you going next year? Because Bruce promised that he would be there.
Well, he's put the date, so probably. I do just want to touch on some of the guests this year we've had, because obviously I've had the pleasure of talking to some amazing people.
All of them?
No, not all of them. But I was quite lucky. I got to be on the one with Rachel. And I did get to be on the one with Tracy. I was backstage for everyone that does not know, because there was some tech issues. So I was just there in the background, just muting and unmuting people's mics because someone was crackling. We didn't know who. But I do have to shout out someone that for me, it was a personal goal to get to talk to this amazing person. And to do it in a one-on-one was so funny to me. It was Kelly Wentworth.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
Yeah, love Kelly's pieces. I mean, I had seen that she had posted on one of our photos a way back, like giving me some love, and I was like, first of all, I was like, oh my god, Kelly Wentworth knows who I am. And then when I got to talk with her during one of the episodes this season, 49, it was just such a fun time, and yeah, absolute love for Kelly. Also, like off-season wise, we've had some great guests. I've got to talk to Abby Maria. I got to talk to Paulie. I've got to speak to Amy Cusack this year. Like Amy Cusack is one of the loveliest human beings ever. Like one of the sweetest, kindest souls. And she knows that she's welcome on every week, every day. Whenever she wants to come on, I'd be like, yeah, you can come on, babes. So I did just want to shout those ones out because they were some memorable moments as well. Zans also just wants to show some love to Lauren and Erin, who were also some amazing guests this season. I can confirm as well, keep an eye on Erin because she's an amazing. I always call her the Survivor scientist, and we're going to be speaking to her very soon, and hopefully you will see more of her on Survivor now in the new year. But that's all I'm going to say.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Bruce, anything else before? Sorry, Abe. I was looking at Bruce.
What the world?
I was looking at this. I was looking at this again. Abe, before we move on, anything else? Any other guests you want to shout out?
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised this year as we bring out the guests to not only celebrate 50 years of Survivor or 50 seasons of Survivor, just players, just reliving the history of Survivor, not just current players, but how they built, this thing of Survivor was built off of players, 18, 20 castaways, different locations. We're going to bring some guests in this season to allow you to be able to hear the backstories of what built Survivor.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity to get my phone call and to be a part of this family, but I want the guests and I want the fans to know how it was built. So that's going to be the season, and that's going to be the guests for Survivor Now podcast to bring to you as fans to be like, oh, Rupert. Well, tell us. Here's a funny thing. Me and Rupert was talking. We was like, I remember we used to be able to drink. Because I remember in one episode, Rupert was towed down.
Oh,
not just towed. He was like, we used to go on yachts.
Yep.
And be like, hey, this is what Survivor has or was and will be. And just talk to the players, man. Just talk to the people that made this a possibility for the players that are going to play on 51 and 52.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've got some amazing, we have, our plan is grand. We're going big or going home for this one. Just quickly, Kimberly saying Lauren was also great.
It's two Laurens. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's Edge of Extinction one. I think.
So, quick thing. So when I got caught with,
hold on, quickly, I'm just going to also throw this one out. Amy, just shouting out our Patreon.
Oh yeah, on Coach.
Sorry, continue.
So you would enjoy this as a fashion guy, Ollie. So when you get selected to be on the show, you got to do your wardrobe. So my time was during the pandemic, so I had to send pictures of my wardrobe. Lauren's color scheme for her season was how I wanted to have my color scheme for my season. So I was like, hey, can I get this color? Now, not knowing that certain colors show up in certain lights, certain things impact the camera. Didn't know none of that kind of stuff. So I was like, but I know what? I know that purple or whatever color it was showed up great on the camera. I was like, I got to keep a color scheme that works in there. So that was Lauren when she was on the show. What's crazy is I just saw her in December too. I mean, it's just so many fabulous things that we share or we see. It was like, man, I can't, because David from that season, he had on all white. All white does not go well in the jungle.
Nope.
Think about a 2-year-old dirty kid. That was
literally like Sparkle Snuff. As soon as anyone wears white, I'm like, no. And the thing is, like, Sparkle Snuff's going to be big this year because we've got 24 people, and we hope that it's not just going to be the US that we do Sparkle Snuff for, but we're holding that. Now,
who is the?
Hey, I've got to ask you this question. It's a big one. Winner or winners. Standout winner this season. Oh, I threw that one in there, didn't I? Look, you thinking about this one. I have got a really left field winner that no one is going to know or expect, and I'm gonna let you go first.
You gonna go to a different show?
It's not a main four one.
Do I like? I'll be like, I want to say Kyle because he played such a great season.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say Savannah because Savannah prepared for the season. I saw some of her interviews and stuff. And you know what? I'm going to say Savannah, and this is the reason why. So when I got the call for Survivor, I went into the lab. I call it the lab, my workout room. I call it the lab. And I said, I'm going to look at every challenge and I'm going to prepare for it. And Savannah in her interview said the same thing. She knew that she's going to have to do endurance challenges because there's a couple of challenges. I was like, is she even phased? And she played great challenges, but she also, when she got the call, she started preparing for it.
Yeah.
Also, Savannah got rejected about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. It was like years.
Yeah,
well, I think it was years ago.
Years. And she was also in ATL too. And she was also in San Antonio as a newscaster. So as far as my favorite for this winter for this year, I'm gonna go with Savannah because one, she just prepared to play the game of Survivor. The one thing you can count on is you. And she bet on herself, man. And she really won those challenges hands down, no question. But she's also been to my favorite cities, Atlanta and San Antonio. So no shade to my boy Cal.
There's a little bit of bias in there.
I mean, no shade to Cal.
It's loud. I mean, yeah, we have had some amazing winners this year. I mean, obviously, like you said, Savannah. You've actually, Amy has just said in the chat, Savannah prepared like a beast. Gabler also prepared like a madman. The Survivor interview with him was excellent.
Gabler was coming back too.
Daryl also saying his favorite winner this year is Kyle. I mean, we've had some amazing winners. I mean, Parvati, hello. She's just become a 2-time winner. She's solidified herself in the Mount Rushmore. I know there was some discourse.
It was a little bit.
About whether it was a full win. I'm here to tell people, Jeremy, now that it was a full win. But I do want to give a shout out to someone absolute left field that no one's going to know about. No one's going to know this franchise, but I do because I'm a Survivor nerd. And it is Survivor Croatia and Serbia. The way they do Survivor is a little bit different. There is a lot more emphasis on the challenges, and there is a lot more. The physical element is a lot bigger. The latest winner, Luciano Platsabad, and I really hope I pronounced your surname correctly. But he is my favorite winner this year, and it has nothing to do with looks. But it was just the fact that he is like similar to kind of Miles, openly LGBT, I believe, but just a great representation as well. And it's also nice to see the not so louder versions, or just the not bigger. Like obviously, AU and US are always going to be some of the biggest franchises of Survivor. So I do just want to show some love to the other ones because I mean, do you want me to shout out some more international winners this year, Abe? I'm more than happy.
Yeah, because I'm looking that up now. I'm like, hold up.
We got it. So obviously, yeah, Luciano, he won this year with Croatia and Serbia. You have Gael Fleury, who won the Koh-Lanta season, which is France. You have Genevieve Lahaye, who won Survivor Quebec season 3 this year, and Sergio Torres, who won Survivor Mexico this year. That was Heroes versus Villains themed. So not a lot of people know this. There was a Heroes versus Villains season theme this year, and it was in Mexico. Also, I'm glad Amy shouted it out. We love Miles as well. Miles was a great winner this season for AU
Oh,
Survivor
yeah.
AU Brains versus Brawn.
I
And
didn't think
like
Miles was
you
gonna win.
said, Carl and Camilla. Pardon?
I didn't think Miles was gonna win. Miles didn't look like the outright winner when he first started.
No, I mean, when it came down to it, you thought he was going to be an early boot. And I mean, even when it was coming down to it, there was uncertainty. We really thought it was kind of going to be AJ, maybe even Kaylin. So yeah, Miles winning was a nice surprise, I would say. And he was the first LGBT winner of the AU franchise being bisexual. So congratulations to that, Miles.
Dude, I'm looking at the cast for Survivor Croatia. I'm like, oh, that's the host.
You're looking at the host, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. Wait,
Luciano Platsabad. There is also lore for me with this because any Eurovision fans, we're not talking about 2026, but he was a backing dancer for the Croatian act in 2020, I believe, or 2021. 2021. So there is also some lore there. That's why
we gotta get one of them on the show. Yeah, we gotta get one of them on the show.
Happily. Absolutely happily.
We did Survivor Africa when it still was airing. They had a great season. I love this season that they did because they brought back first boots before the merge. They took players before the merge and created a great season. And then
they did.
Didn't do another season.
I would love to see some of those some of those come back, especially in would love to see it. Like it was Return of the Outcasts. That would be some great times.
Yeah, Ben sent me a buff. He when you say mail directly to your house, Ben mailed me a signed buff to my house.
Hold on, this has reminded me. You know, you asked me how my Christmas was. It was great because I got a Survivor 49 merge buff.
Where'd you get a merge buff from?
I just remembered that. It's because you mentioned buff and I realized I had it just out of reach. Oh no, please don't drop a puzzle again.
Man, that was Bruce's fault. He made me drop that puzzle. For those that had never seen the buff from Survivor South Africa, here's the buff from Survivor South Africa. Ben signed it for me.
We love. Right. We are getting to the tail end of this now, Abe. So let's reflect. Well, I say reflect. Let's look forward because we have got 2026 coming up. It's going to be a great year. What are you excited for when it comes to 2026?
Well, you know what? In the Survivor community, I'm looking forward to the celebration of Survivor. I know we got the season coming up. I know we got 50 coming up, but I want to see the foundation of Survivor and just celebrate how we got here. Like the other 49 seasons, it will be spectacular. I've said this before to other players. If CBS would bring us all back to be in the audience for the crowning of the Survivor 50 winner, you know, there's only one person, I can't remember his name offhand, that has pretty much every Survivor player's signature, except for maybe, let's say 25 of us. And I'm like, that's amazing because I haven't met that many of them, but he actually collected everybody's signature. But just an opportunity to be able to talk to the foundation of Survivor. We're going to look at the show. We're going to cheer for who we think should be the winner of 50. We want to see some great gameplay because y'all not rookies. You know, you got an Ozzy in there. Come on, Ozzy, you done played before. We want to see the different moves that's going to be made. How is a Q going to stand up to a Kyle, or how is David going to stand up? I mean, we're looking for so many elements. D, are you going to perform the same way? Riz, are you going to keep an idol in your pocket the whole time? I mean, we're looking to see a culmination of all of Survivor in that one season. And I don't know what it's going to turn out to be, but I know we can celebrate Survivor in itself for the last 49 season going into 50.
Yes. I'm excited for the celebration of Survivor because, again, like you said, it's going to be 50. Like, this is the time to really look back at Survivor as a whole and look at the evolution, look at the best moments. And it's a chance to reinvigorate the fandom. And it's like to even see who can come back. I mean, there have been some players that we haven't really seen in the Survivor realm maybe come back because it's 50. You never know. But I'm also like, obviously, with the 50 hype coming, I am excited for that. I am also excited for Australian Survivor because we are seeing some new things happening there. I'm intrigued to see how David's going to do. We said that at the top of the podcast. But I'm also excited to see where Survivor AU comes because there is a rumor. There is a rumor swirling around. There is no validity to this. This is all alleged that they could be switching locations, which, if that is the case, that is going to be very cool. They apparently are scouting in Malaysia. So I would
Usually in
love to see
Samoa.
that. They originally are in Samoa, yes, but they apparently for the next seasons, not Redemption,
Okay.
the season after, they are looking at filming in Malaysia, which will be very exciting. But no, I am very excited for season 50 and just the celebration of Survivor that's going to come. People in the chat, Kimberly is saying she's rooting for Coach. This is just some 50 talk. And Daryl is also rooting for Coach. And then when it comes to Australian Survivor, Daryl can't wait to see David as a host and can't wait for the Legends on 50. And Zans is looking forward to Fire Tokens and Angelina negotiations, which I think is very, very fair.
They said the fans created some of the backdrop to 50, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. I'm gonna see what Rick Devens do this season coming up. I think Rick Devens would have won if Chris didn't do Fire, because he had to fight. He fought to get to where he was, and then he just ran out. Some players, I'm like, I want to see what Emily's gonna do. She almost dusted off Bruce in his return season. She was like, "Hey, you already been here on that ship." I was like, "Oh." I think we want to see Tiffany. I want to see how she's gonna play.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can always. I just can't get away from the players that I wish I could have saw, or I think that could have had a second chance. I'd love to see Maria go out there and get another opportunity to play. If not this season, in one of the future seasons. So it's gonna be. Well, I can say this right here. Considering who's on this season, I still got time. I still got 5 more years that they play. That's the case.
There you go. I mean, well, this is a bit like we will before 50, we will probably touch on the people we would have loved to have seen. I will say follow us on Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast, because we will be probably doing some fan cast made 50 casts. So keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited for 50. I'm so excited for Jenna Lewis. I'm so excited for Angelina. I'm so excited for Tiffany. I'm so excited for Savannah. Like, I know I've just seen her on my screen, but I'm so intrigued to see how she's going to do with those like old school players. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one overall, because I feel like the celebration of Survivor is going to be so much stronger than we've seen recently. And I'm just looking forward to seeing all that. And hopefully, just in general, we get some more exit interviews. That's what I'm going to manifest. Just for the podcast. It's
going to be. We're going to get in the door. We're going to finally crack the U.S. We got the Australia on lock. I mean, we're one of the only podcasts that interview exit interviews for Survivor Australia. So always tune in. We always got the international flavor in here. So an opportunity to also talk to them, game plays and everything else. So tune in for that. Looking forward to some. You know what? We ought to reach out to some other survivors. Since we got multiple survivors around the world, we need to add something else to the collection of Survivor Now podcast. Something to make us a little different, a little spicier. I would love to talk to, Croatia and see what's going on in Quebec. So, and I met the players. 2 of the players from Quebec have come to Bryson Wynn. I want to give a quick shout out to Bryson Wynn, because when there wasn't a finale show, Bryce, Isaiah, and Wendell Hall created an atmosphere where the players could bring their families, their friends, and celebrate winning Survivor. They even had the big old check. They would bring the check out. Also, like to give a shout out to Lauren Ashley Beck, who invited me to my very first Survivor event out in LA. Thank you, Lauren. And I was like, what is this? What's going on here? I'm out there. I'm by myself. Season 42 is wrapping up. And it's like this is a whole community out here. So thank you for that. I've had a great blast, a great ride. I can't complain. It's been fun. Give a shout out to Randy was here. He built the podcast. Sorry to see him. He's going on to do some other things. And Ollie and Bruce and Kara and Matthew and Will and Tori and I miss somebody. Who did I miss?
Josh and Avery.
Josh and Avery. Are the podcast Survivor Now podcast family. That we're gonna tear it up in 50. We're just gonna tear it up in 50.
We're gonna keep it going. Don't worry. The Survivor Now is not stopping anytime soon. Last few things. Daryl can't wait to see Brooke again on Survivor Australia. I can't wait to see that either. And also Zan's manifesting more exit interviews. I will burn some herbs at my Shannon Say shrine and meditate on this. Do you know what? Go for it. Because hopefully this year we do get Australian Redemption interviews. That would be amazing. You did point it out, Abe. We were one of the few podcasts to get Australia versus the World interviews, which were amazing. That was such a fun experience for me. But overall, it was great. Overall, I think we've decided 2025 was a great year. We enjoyed it.
Great year, great adventure.
Yeah. And like we said, we've got so much more to come in 2026. Thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. Thank you for supporting the podcast. If you're not a normal fan of the podcast, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we've got so much going on in 2026. We've got Survivor 50. We've got Survivor Australia Redemption. We'll have Survivor 51. We'll have so much off-season content going on. It's going to be a fun one. But for now, we wish you all a happy new year, and we will see you all in 2026.
Be sure to come back. We're doing it.